Adesso siamo arrivati al momento della sorpresa in cui sveleremo che cosa c'è qui in parte a me. Però adesso voglio chiamare qui con me sul palco, allora, Immersive Computing Lead di HP EMEA, Michael Donck.
Hello.
Hi Michael, welcome. Okay. Now it's the big moment of the evening, right?
Why?
Yeah, because you have to show you something really like unusual for the first time in Italy, right?
Yes.
But first of all, HP Sprout.
Yes.
You know that in Italian means germoglio, sprout.
I was told it means
Yeah,
that. I cannot pronounce it, but yes.
So how you decide to take that name for this solution?
Oh, so sprout in English means as well as an idea that might sprout, right? So like a seed and a plant that would sound. So how did it come as a product about? Is actually very similar to the history of HP, and I don't know if you know the history of HP. Actually, you had Dave and Bill, two guys.
We can discuss. We have the entire night if you want.
Yes, and I know you're hungry probably. So but we have the same kind of concept where a person has an idea and wants this idea to grow.
Sure.
And actually we have somebody in what we call the GBU, the Global Business Unit, Brad Short, which is a distinguished technologist, right, who had the idea and he was keen on improving actually the 2D scanning. So, as you know, 2D scanning was very flatbed and so on, and he wanted that experience to be very different. So what he did, in fact, was he started with actually taking a all-in-one printer and putting it on his side. So and he tried many ideas, and at the end, actually, what came about was using cameras and using a projector. And there were many different form factors.
So this is the history of the project?
Yeah, this is the evolution of the idea that he had in his garage.
From the idea to the concept.
And he actually
prototype.
went through it. Mm-hmm. And then he came to the office and said, this is something we should do. And that's
Why?
Why? Because it's something different. It's something innovative. And at the end of the day, we had an all-in-one PC with the scanner, with the cameras, which allowed you actually to take something physical. You took a snapshot and it became digital. And that's where blended reality comes from.
And then you can print it out again.
You could do that if you want, yes. If you follow the whole cycle, you could take something, manipulate it, and then 3D
change something,
print it
and then
if you
through additive manufacturing, maybe you can even reprint it. Yes.
So and that's how Sprout came about. So and that we started in 2014. The first Sprout came out in the consumer space, a more prosumer model. Then last year at BET, so the education trade show in the UK, we actually announced a commercial product for Sprout, so a better, improved version with commercial features added to it. And actually, for tonight, it's actually the first time in Europe, outside of last week at BET, that we have one of the few devices here present today,
available.
Which is wait. Hidden there.
What are we showing now? One second.
The last step in the evolution. We had the consumer Sprout, the commercial Sprout that you saw all there. And this is one that we announced at CES, the 4th of January, and which is actually the HP Sprout Pro G2.
Okay.
So, I was told I would be helped. Yep. So this is the one. Very different.
Okay.
So, shall I explain you what changed?
Absolutely, yeah.
So what is very different is, first of all, the footprint is much, of course, the color, obviously, in black and white, but as well the design changed very much. I think what we wanted to do is enhance the experience in different ways. One of the ways is actually here on the touch mat, which is the 20-touch touch mat that we saw a lot in all those videos, is actually better in the sense that we have 3 times the pixels. So
what can we do?
detailed.
Let's assume that we have a product here.
Yes.
What can we do?
So if you would have a product, you would be able to scan it. So that's another thing that we added is actually instead of just scanning and turning it or using a turntable, you can actually do in-hand scanning. So it goes much easier, much quicker and much faster with a good...
Ok, let me translate 1 second. Allora, stiamo presentando un prodotto completamente nuovo e quello che ci sta dicendo praticamente, se noi abbiamo un prodotto in mano, un qualunque tipo di prodotto, attraverso l'apparecchiatura tecnologica all'interno di tutta questa soluzione abbiamo la possibilità di far diventare questo prodotto digitale. Quindi se abbiamo ad esempio qualcuno da un'altra parte del mondo che sta lavorando al design, al cambiamento, al miglioramento di un prodotto, può lavorare sullo stesso prodotto contemporaneamente a noi, quindi in qualunque parte del mondo. So we can work with other people everywhere in the world because we can work in the same type of concept within the machine and also remotely, right?
Yes, you could, and that's why we have partners like Inventia who add actually layers and value proposition to the hardware that we offer. I think the one thing in the new and improved version is, of course, this, which makes it very important in all the applications that we saw today, is actually that we went from a passive pen to an active pen, which allows, so it's basically a Wacom technology pen, which allows 2048 pressure points, which makes the authentication and the certification of the signatures.
Ok. Quindi sta dicendo che possiamo firmare con questa penna che è stata studiata essere proprio diciamo una soluzione che fa sembrare come se tu stessi facendo tutto in maniera tradizionale, invece è tutto digitale.
So, and then there's some other features that we changed, like the OS, how you use Prout and its features is a bit less intrusive and it's on Windows 10 and so on. But I welcome you all after the session, of course, to have a look and test the unit, of course.
This product is the key of vision and strategy of HP.
It's one of them, yes.
It's one of them.
Yes.
So explain us the strategy behind this product and the next steps.
So if I look at so I'm the only one with slides, sorry for that. But I think Giampiero explained it if my Italian is okay. But I heard core, growth and future. So basically this is the strategy of HP, right? So ever since we split, almost a year, somewhat more than a year ago, we have had this strategy, and it's actually our CEO, Dion Weisler, who happens to be Australian, and he likes waves. Everything needs to come in waves. That's why, as a strategy, we have 3 waves. Core is where we do the biggest part of our 50 billion revenue, right? It's what you know the most, the things that you will be confronted with in retail or at your work, your PCs, your notebooks, your printers, and so on. Growth is where we develop new ideas, and they are actually very tangible and very executable. So an example there is the X3 that you might know, the 3-in-1 device that is a phablet, a notebook, and a desktop in one. Now, why is this important? Because this, what we are talking about, the product Sprout, for instance, is really in the future part of the business. It's the third wave, preparing the future, and where we look at the megatrends and where we give answers to the megatrends and try to actually be disruptive in this space, right? And thinking of what could be the next big thing. And this is what is great about today, personally, because I didn't know it was, it's the first time I also all these applications. What is great is that we actually are taking the future and making it already tangible. So it's actually moving already from future to growth for me then. Now, looking at
some international projects that you can explain us.
Yeah, and just you saw the video of that Giampiero was showing. We're focusing on 3 big segments with this product. Education is the most logic in the sense that it was designed and more used there when we came out 2 years ago. It's specifically when you do project-based learning, meaning you work very collaborative, you work and you use it as the one device to work on a project, which is very popular these days.
Yeah, we mentioned, for example,
in
some classes we work on like design and fashion and so on. Absolutely, but also whenever there is something involved with 3D printing, absolutely, this can be amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
Your solution is amazing. And some other international project that you want to mention?
So the second vertical that we focus in is manufacturing. So where we use actually not Sprout as a device to do 3D scanning, we actually use basically the projectors, and you saw it in the movie as well, to do things like light-guided assembly. You saw it where the lights was saying when you produce something to put where you need to put the things, how to follow the lights, and step by step the light guides you through an assembly. And it actually is cool as well because it's not just light, it's not just a projector, but it's also the scanner at the same time. So it would actually scan on the actions that you're doing, and if the action is not correct, it would actually not go to the next one. And what was great that you saw in the video as well is that you had that video next to it to show you how things are done. And there we're working. Who are we working? We're working with BMW, with Volkswagen.
And
with,
what are you doing with
Siemens.
the automotive industry?
So in the automotive industry, it's really two things. Automotive could be learning.
Can you customize even better?
It's not about customizing, it's really about learning an assembly process.
Okay, so
to
it's not for
train
customer
people.
in this case, it's something for...
Yeah, to train people, basically. Or if you're smaller parts, assembly. Imagine you have a pacemaker.
Okay.
You cannot make a mistake and miss a screw.
Absolutely.
Because people might die.
Biomedical processes.
Yes,
Yeah,
and Siemens as well with circuit boards. We use it there as well.
Oh, I see.
And then last but not least, I think the best example of the third segment is really the kiosk. Kiosk could be retail banking, and what we see a lot here today. You saw perhaps, and we have it here as well, another application that is rolled out already in Portugal, where we're expanding in the rest of Iberia, is actually with MediaMarkt. So I guess you have MediaMarkt in yes.
MediaWorld.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but you have it. So the concept is actually using the Sprout as a station to customize anything that you could buy in MediaMarkt. If you want, you have your fridge, and every fridge is white, or every fridge these days is silver, but maybe you don't like it. So you could customize how your fridge looks. And what we do is we use the Sprout, and you see the app, and you can customize how it looks. And then...
What do you mean you can customize how it looks?
So you can take a picture that you have, you can use things that you have, and basically your fridge could look, and an example that we have, like a telephone booth in the UK, the red thing, right? Your fridge could look like that. Why? Because you customize it there, you click it through, and we work together with our friends of printing, of course, who then make a latex wrap around it. So they will wrap it like you can wrap a car in these days in a matte color or something. So this is the same principle.
Quindi sta dicendo praticamente che si può applicare in tantissimi settori, dall'automotive al biomedicale, agli elettrodomestici, a un sacco di altri settori per personalizzare il prodotto, per il training per i dipendenti, piuttosto che il training per anche il meccanico dell'auto, insomma una marea di applicazioni infinite. There's a huge opportunity here. I mean, we have thousands of different ways we can use it, right?
So yes, and we need, of course, partners like Inventia to make it a reality, because we have the hardware, we have ideas, but these need to come in reality, and that's where ISVs and so come in play.
I'm sure there are a lot of different companies that can use your solutions.
We hope so. We're just preparing the future. That's the thing that we're doing.
Yeah, the present.
Today, yes.
This is the first time in Italy, right? That you
yes.
solution.
It's the first time. So we just brought it out last week because it was BET, so the education trade show in the UK, in London. And it went straight from there to here. And there's only 4 in the whole of EMEA. And yeah.
Giampiero Savarelli at the beginning mentioned that it's definitely very important how you're working on Industry 4.0 and also blended reality. So what other things are you doing on this?
So now we're talking, so I'm well positioned if you look at the GBUs into the company, because the future is closest to the CTO office, so the office of our chief of technologists, right? So that's where our R&D people are. We spend about 3 billion yearly on R&D, and we have thousands of engineers. So if you look at our future, it's really this blended reality, and the areas that we're focusing on are the ones that you can see here. 3D transformation. I mean, that in manufacturing, they put a number on it. There's 12, 13 trillion billion
Absolutely.
potential.
Additive manufacturing is increasing like booming.
Yes,
right
and for instance, there we rolled out our first 3D printers out of the Barcelona side, where actually the R&D is happening on 3D printing for HP. But of course, blended reality means as well input as well as output. So input is more the scanning part.
Internet of everything.
So we have immersive experience, which is more making sure that things are intuitively easy without making it too hard and to explain. Hypermobility are things like wearables. And you might not know it, but we have already wearables out there in the market. And I'm actually wearing one.
Which type of wearable?
So we have a watch. This is a consumer watch. This comes out of the CTO office. So, and you might not know it, it's
How can you
HP
use
because
it?
it's Boss, but it's
beside
HP.
the watch.
Excuse me?
What's the type of functionality they
No,
have?
this is just a connected device. But
Okay.
to be honest, this is for the CTO testing ideas.
Okay.
We are looking at commercial wearables, right? So between now and 2 years, we should be in the market, and then you do look more.
You want to do the laundry with it?
The laundry?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't think so. And then, so that's the hypermobility, right? And then Internet of Things, but Internet of all things, right? The Internet of all things, we have our printers. They're all actually connected devices, so that's already good. So we actually have a large fleet of Internet of Things. But actually, if you look further there, we were thinking even in our development, if you take a 3D printed component, we could put actually something intelligent in there as well. An example, if we 3D printed a piece of a chain, just a piece of a chain, and we put a chip in there, and a little chip allowed us to know how much strength was being put on that chain. So these are the things that we're thinking of just for the future, just to look at manufacturing and how things might change. And then smart machines is making things more intelligent. There's artificial intelligence.
So you want to create a digital factory, basically?
Not necessarily, but you know, I've been talking a lot. Maybe my last thing is I can give you an idea of what we are looking at in the CTO office as something to be implemented in the next few years, if you allow me.
Sure.
Yeah?
From the moment you wake up, computing is woven into the fabric of your life and environment. It works seamlessly in the background to keep you up to date, to provide you with inspiration,
Show me the outfit of the day.
and to alert you to changes in your schedule.
Jade, traffic is heavier than usual. I moved your 9 a.m. meeting to 10 a.m.
At the office, it ensures the content you need is always at the ready, no matter where you're working from.
Add in this year's data.
Ambient computing makes it easy to collaborate while keeping you connected to the things you care about most.
Ask John to walk Piper.
Request sent.
Back at home, it's your on-call assistant. Part sous chef,
Show me how to make a roux.
part photographer, helping capture the moments you might have missed and sharing them automatically with your friends and family. From sunup to sundown, computing becomes anticipatory, suggestive, adaptive, and proactive, keeping you on track, informed, and always present as you move through your day.
So you don't want to change the way we work. You want to change the way we live. Even when we brush our teeth.
We want to make things easier.
Easier.
That's the thing.
So even when you are in front of a mirror, then
You can set it
you can
on or
answer
off,
your
right?
WhatsApp message, right?
Yes.
More or less. Quindi non saremo praticamente neanche più liberi di lavarci i denti, questo sto dicendo, stiamo scherzando, in realtà quello che stiamo dicendo è che appunto cambierà il modo in cui vivremo, perché tutte le superfici diventeranno di fatto un device che possiamo utilizzare per fare migliaia di cose, no? Every surface will become something where we can interact with a company or a colleague or your
All
partner or
immersive,
whatever.
all smart, intuitive, proactive, artificially intelligent, proposed. This
When?
is what we'll...
When it's going to happen? Come here.
When, that is something I don't know. But I would expect something like this by because this is CTO stuff, by 2020 is more a realistic time frame that we start seeing things again.
So in a few months.
Yes.
Okay.
Perhaps for you, but not for me.
No, I'm just kidding. No, since at the beginning of this event, we mentioned that when I met the first time Giampiero, we were discussing about this thing that we were assuming to be able to see in the market in 2025 probably, but so far we are now discussing about this type of machine, so they are already here. So probably,
Yes.
but then it depends on the time they're gonna need to spread all over, and that's different. I mean,
Yeah.
you can invent it, but then it takes time for people, you know, to
Yes.
include this type of solution in their house.
And the step is CTO to the immersive computing view, and then we try to find the right go-to-market and the right partners to commercialize it, and then to have the solutions integrated in our daily lives to make our lives a bit easier.
Easier. Smart home, smart working,
Yes, everything's smart.
and all the devices connected and all the different products connected.
That's how it looks like it's gonna be, yes.
Yeah, Matrix. Okay, thanks a lot, Michael.